Original.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the Web Crawlers live show. This is our Friday Web Crawlers live, which we do once a month, and we stream it on YouTube. And you guys can call in and tell us your comments, your questions, your concern, ask advice, and just tell us ghost stories.
Yeah, we're an advice podcast now.
Yeah, we switched over fully. We're an unlicensed therapy podcast. I am Allie Siegel.
You have a certification, though.
I am a certified life coach, mindfulness and meditation teacher, Reiki 1 and 2, as well as breath work if anyone needs, if anyone wants to give me money.
And I am Melissa Stetton, unlicensed therapist.
Yes.
And I'm producer Maria with a new blue blocker.
Oh, I like
They
those.
look great. They look great. Should I put mine on too?
So what are you seeing? It just blocks the blue?
It's black. I can't see a
You
thing.
can't see me?
when I
Wait,
put
how many
these on.
fingers am I holding up?
Okay, there's you have claws. You've turned into
There's
a cat.
3 bats. How many bats? Do you see this ghost?
There's a lot of bats. No, I see shadow people with these.
Ooh.
Well, let's see if Cassidy's ready to rumble.
Ooh, Cassidy.
Are you ready to?
Hi. Hi, where are you from?
I'm in New York City. I'm from St. Pete, Florida, where that lady was spontaneously combusted.
What?
Shut up.
Okay,
Was it-
that's cool.
Was it big news around town?
I mean, I think it was in like the 1950s, so I was not alive yet.
True. It probably
Yeah,
lost. It
that's
probably lost the buzz by the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't
You're
viral
born.
on Twitter.
Every year, like anniversary, they rerun the story in the newspaper, I think.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so sick. I hope that my death is so crazy that each year they run a story on the anniversary of my
Yeah.
death about what
It will
happened.
They will. They will.
Thanks.
How's it going in New York?
It's great. It's not on fire at all the way that all their
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Brag much? Do you have a question, comment, concern, or spooky story for us?
Or do you need advice?
I always.
Yes.
I have a ghost story that my friend
Ooh.
got me starting to listen to this podcast, which I listened to the whole thing during quarantine.
Oh my God,
Wow.
thank you.
He loves this ghost story, and he might. Oh yeah, I have a Ouija board on my wall. I think someone's.
Oh my God, scary.
Oh, you need to burn that.
It's like an art board. It's not real, but I could use
Mhm.
it if I wanted
I
to.
don't know.
Yeah. So when I was 16, I was babysitting for my next door neighbor, and I had a baby. I didn't have a baby. The baby was a baby, and was like not old enough to talk yet, really, but she was like babbling all the time, so she didn't like know words. And her parents were like, "Hey, just like talk to her, like encourage that behavior, but she's not saying anything." So she would just like blah 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 blah, and I'd be like, "Yeah." And I was sitting at the dining room table feeding her, and she said, she was just like doing her thing. I was giving her food, and then the monitor on the table, like the baby monitor,
no.
the video one, the video cut out. Like it went from it just like was a video of the crib, and then it went static, and then it turned off. And I was like, okay, it probably died. That's weird, but that's fine. And then lights shot across twice, like maybe something had like in the room. And then I was like noticeably freaked out. And they had a golden retriever, and that dog walked like over and like looked into that hall, and then came running back with its tail between its legs and like there. And I was 16, and I was like, if there's an intruder in this house, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Have the baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna run.
Take it.
Baby.
But then the baby looked at me and like could tell that I was freaked out, and she just like very calmly said, "Oh, that's Sam. Sam's dead."
No.
No.
Wait, how old is this baby?
Like 1.5, maybe. I don't know when babies learn how to like say words.
Oh, that's Sam. Sam's dead.
Yeah.
I would shit my pants and never come back there.
I never went back, but I did, like, I had to stay.
Well, you wouldn't be invited if you shit your pants, Allie. You'd be like, who's this babysitter that shit her pants?
I blamed it on the baby.
She was great, but she shit her pants.
She shits everywhere.
I was their literal next door neighbor, and I had like a really hard time staying in my bedroom because it was like mirrored to their bedroom or like the baby's bedroom.
Oh yeah.
So I felt like something was watching me for years. Ended up like saging my house, and then that fixed it. But I couldn't sleep in my bedroom. I could sleep in the living room, my parents' room, my brother's room, but I could not sleep in my own bedroom. And I asked my mom if anyone named Sam ever lived there, and she was like, people move in and out of that house all the time. So who knows? And
we have to find out. Will you send the address like privately to us, and we'll do some of our web crawling work to see if there was a Sam in there?
I tried to do stuff on like House Creep once I like heard those links, and I couldn't.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. This is terrifying.
And then that dog, they ended up getting rid of that dog. That dog like tried.
What?
Yeah, the dog tried to like claw its way out of the garage door and like ate its way through like a wooden door into the garage. And I think it was trying to escape the house because
they should have listened to that dog, not give it away. But I mean, it seemed like the dog did not want to be there.
They like did it 2 more times. Yeah. And they tried to sell the house. They moved to Washington State, and I'm from Florida. So they moved like literally as far away as they possibly could. Couldn't sell the house. Had to move back. And
oh no.
I think they've officially sold it now. And my dad has like done restoration, like tile work for their bathroom and their kitchen. And he says it's not haunted. So I think it was.
Holy shit. Oh my God. That's okay. Well, anyone else who calls in has a high bar to, well, it's not a competition, but that was a good start to the night.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Cassidy.
Email us in the address to the house, because we want to do some research, see if we can find out if a Sam ever lived there.
Or died there.
That too. Yeah. More importantly,
or
died
got
there.
murdered there.
Or got murdered. Have a good rest of the night. Thank you for calling in.
Bye.
Bye, Cassidy.
Oh no.
Scary stuff.
I don't like kids that can see. I told you about how my niece told my sister, like, she was walking down the stairs one morning and she was like, oh, we gotta wait for my friend to come down. And my sister's like, huh? She's like,
that's right, you did.
My friend who lives upstairs with me. And my sister's like, huh?
Kids see ghosts, bro.
Talk.
They're too close to the other side.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, Bethany, you're coming in. Get ready to rumble, baby.
Oh yeah, lying down.
Hello.
Hi, Bethany.
Hi.
Hi. I just kind of screamed because it started moving and I was like, oh my God, that's me. I wrote in, you read my email about the other Springfield case other than the Springfield 3.
Oh, yes.
So I can either tell you, God, it's weird to see myself on my TV, but also here.
Cool.
Welcome to Hollywood, baby.
How do you think Julia Roberts feels?
So I can either tell you a little bit about that or the other story, which I said I would call in for, about the man in my room. And then when our house was robbed, like shortly after.
Yeah, tell the robbing one.
Yeah.
Tell the one with the robbing.
So I am the youngest child. I have an older brother and an older sister. And according to everybody in my family, I lied all the time when I was a kid. And just, that's all I did. So
Cool.
woke up, but this is not a lie. I woke up in the middle of the night and me and my sister shared a room. And I went to look out my bedroom door. And there was a man standing in the doorway that wasn't my dad or my brother. And he was just kind of leaning from the waist up.
No.
And he was staring at me. And I was in second grade. I was terrified and I couldn't move and I couldn't scream because this man was just staring at me. So I didn't know what to do. And eventually I kind of like leaned up against the wall because there was a bookshelf that stuck out really far, and just like put myself flat up against the wall and just waited a little bit. And when I finally peeked back around, the man was gone. So I told my parents the next day, and they didn't believe me because I lied all the time about everything. So they're like, no, there's no way you were looking at your coat rack or something. Like, nobody believed me that this happened. And then there was a peeping Tom in our neighborhood around the same time.
No.
And then a couple weeks later, we were robbed. And it was the same guy. And he'd already been in the house once, and it was the peeping Tom guy.
Oh,
and
my
nobody
God.
believed me.
He was like casing your house. And,
I guess,
God, I'm so glad he didn't do anything to you when he was in there. Holy shit.
When I wrote that email into you guys, I like talked to my mom to kind of try to get the timeline. And I told her this story, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about? I was like so traumatized. She's like, no, I don't remember this. And I was like, okay.
Oh my
cool.
God. She like blacked it out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh my God.
That's scary as
fucking
hell.
nuts.
Oh my God.
And then we moved, and our behind next door neighbor, our yards met up, was Feeney, who probably murdered his wife and kids. So it was crazy.
Holy shit. What a location.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So if
Location.
If you ever need an episode, look up John Feeney from Springfield, Missouri, because it's still not solved. There were some crazy things about the case.
Oh my God. We will do that. Oh my
sure
God.
will.
Thank you this is an incredible story. Thank you for calling in. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bethany.
Bye, Bethany.
Bye. Wow.
All right, I'm letting Rebecca in so everyone can be on their best behavior.
Okay. I guess.
Hi,
Rebecca.
Oh my God, are we on? We on
Yeah,
right now?
We're on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Becca, we're on. Okay. We have a lag. We're watching you live, but we have a lag, so we didn't know that you were.
So funny.
Oh my God, you guys.
I love this. Oh my God, it's the horny shirt. It's the horny for true crime shirt.
Me again.
So if that's Rebecca, what's your name?
My name's Betty. I introduced her to you guys because I knew she would fucking love it. She fucking loves it.
And Rebecca, you've called in before. I remember you were going out to dinner with your husband.
Oh,
My husband, yes. And this is Louis. I didn't properly introduce him last time. I introduced his sister, but this is really the love of my life. Honestly, he's just
my
and he was freaking out at Asher.
Yes, I posted on my Instagram. He was not happy with Asher being on there. He was very mad.
So where are you guys located?
We're in the Chicagoland area.
Oh.
We went to that cemetery she was talking about in the
White
last
Cemetery.
one.
He's barking at himself
Oh, yeah.
on the TV now.
Oh my God.
Do you see him?
That's so cute.
The lag is
You're gonna go to bed.
Okay, I really quickly wanted to tell you guys a story. Okay, so one time when I was up at my friend's river house, it was like 3 a.m. and it was like we were all probably like 19 years old, and we decided, like, we're probably kind of drunk and kind of high. We decided we were gonna go skinny dipping in the river. And so we start like undressing, and we're about to like jump off the dock and go in the river. And all of a sudden this boat comes down the river, no lights on. You can't see them, but they're blasting this Eminem music, and not like the fun Eminem music, like the dark Eminem music.
Like Lose Yourself.
And so we were like covering ourselves like,
Mom Spaghetti.
No, not
right.
Not
No. It was maybe one about Kim in a trunk.
Yes.
Yeah, it was dark,
okay.
and we were like, "Well, that's weird. Maybe we should cover our, 19-year-old titties, our perky tits, and go inside." So we go inside, and they parked their boat at our dock. And we went inside and we locked ourselves in one of the bedrooms, and you could just hear it was blasting. This music was blasting.
I never meant to give you mushrooms, girl.
You just hear this like horrible music, not horrible, but whatever. And at one point, I looked at my friends and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking be raped tonight. I grabbed like an ornament off the wall, and I was like, this is it. I am
not getting raped tonight.
I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna let them fucking rape me tonight. No. And then my other friend grabbed something else. And then my third friend was literally laying on the bed. She was like, I don't know. And I'm like, don't do it, girl. You can defend yourself. We're going out there. We're going to fucking beat the shit out of these people. And we went out there, and all we did was just like lock the front and back door. And they eventually went away. But it was like, for me, I was like, I will.
They're so scared.
What
if it would have been Eminem just like doing a live concert down the river though, and you missed out?
I'm not gonna let anybody fucking try to rape me.
Especially not Eminem.
Especially not to fucking Eminem. Like, please. I don't need that.
Yeah, that does not set the mood. Oh my God. Wow. No, it is not a good vibe. Wow, this was really empowering and energizing. I'm not going to lie.
That rape story was energizing.
I'm not going to lie. I feel energized by that.
I'm ready to fight
story.
someone.
Just take anything off the wall and use it as a weapon.
That's a good idea.
Oh my God, Melissa, I love your overalls.
Ooh, yes. Oh, thank you.
So cute.
Thanks.
Well, guys, thank you so much for calling it. That was
my favorite of the day.
So much. We love you. Can I tell you guys a friend's ghost story?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So Betty and I work together at a grooming salon, and our fellow groomer, Erin, this happened to her like 2 weeks ago. So she was, she has 2 dogs of her own, and she was dog sitting
two other dogs.
So there were 4 dogs in her house. Wow. This is important for later on in the story. So Erin was home alone, and she thought that her fiance had come home because she like heard like a ruckus in the house. Like she heard like stuff clattering and stuff, whatever. It was like at night. He was out with his friends at the bar, and she was like, oh, it's like early for him to get home. I'm telling you this kind of bad.
No,
but anyway, so she like goes to see if Jason's home. And like he's not, because like she has 4 dogs in her house. They would alert her if someone was in her house. So she was like hearing these noises, and she didn't see anyone. And she calls down the stairs. She's like, Jay, and she heard someone fucking laughing.
Creepy laughing.
I just got like gross, like my spine,
giggling,
like fucking giggling in her house, and like there wasn't. Like the dogs, like if there was someone,
the dogs was like,
because Jason was like, oh, it was probably just like kids fucking with you, and she's like, the dogs would have barked if there was someone like around the house, like messing with stuff, and like, nope. And like she was telling me this story at work, and she's like telling me about the giggling, and I was like, oh, like it just instant, visceral, like just no, it was. Girls.
That is so fucked up.
Crazy. No, not good.
Ooh, crazy.
Holy shit,
and
man.
was at the same time that those people died.
No, I don't know.
The what?
I like how you're whispering.
I heard people at the same time that the people died.
Okay, so it's like a really terrible, tragic, awful like story, but I'll tell you guys if you want to hear it.
Ooh.
So yes. Erin was watching her friend's dog.
Oh yes! Oh my god!
She was supposed to be watching. So I know it's so terrible. So Erin was watching her friend's dog, and she was supposed to have him for like
2 extra dogs.
Yes. She was supposed to have him for like, I don't know, a week or weekend or something. The guy like went to go like visit
his parents. And while he was visiting his parents, his mom fell down the stairs and like fucked herself
up. Like had to go to the hospital.
Had to go to the hospital.
Like staircase-esque, like
blood everywhere.
No.
My
like an owl hit her. An owl hit her.
It wasn't an owl. Okay, that is my like he did it. Michael Peterson fucking did it. That's my.
No, don't get started.
Don't get started on the staircase. But anyway, so it was like the staircase. Like she didn't die, but she hospital. Yeah.
But then, as they were taking his mom to the hospital, for her fall down the stairs. His dad had a fucking like stroke
Or
in
like
the
an aneurysm.
bathroom.
Like he was like
died.
disoriented.
God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was like disoriented. Like his wife was like getting
They took him
checked
to the
out.
hospital and he died in the bathroom all by himself.
And then, well, and she.
Oh
and-
my
yeah.
God.
Oh my god.
So like it was like they came to get her to put her in the ambulance, and Dad was disoriented, and they were like,
And he
maybe
went-
he's yeah.
And then he
yeah.
went to the bathroom. And then,
and then he died.
he
in the
went
bathroom.
and apparently he died in the
He
bathroom.
died in the bathroom, guys. Don't go in the
That's
bathroom.
so
So anyway,
sad. And don't go to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
so then like
You
2
don't
states
wanna die in
over,
there.
she's babysitting this dog. She's dog sitting this dog
For
and
3 weeks.
she hears this like creepy laughing.
Yeah, so I said, what if it was at the same time? That's why I was whispering. Sorry, full circle. There we go.
It's very, very weird.
The chat says they said they're making this tragic story so fun. And they said that you guys are peak web crawlers energy. And that this is
Truly.
That's all I aspire to be.
That's the dream, baby.
That's all we want.
Ooh. That was nice.
You guys might need your own segment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, they're loving you over there.
Yes, anytime. So this was planned in advance. We were like,
I've been trying so hard to get over here so I could be here for this because I know she loves it. She's in it. And
It was worth
I want to
it.
see.
Yes.
You guys are
No.
No, not the whole house, just the pizza.
on for so long. We've been drinking. And she's been smoking.
I haven't smoked yet.
Oh well, we've been drinking, so you know, I'm taking up all
This is
your
amazing. Will you guys shoot us an email because this might have to be a segment or something because the crowd's loving it.
Betty
Yes.
and Rebecca.
Yeah.
You can just
Or
call me
quarter.
Becca.
Becca.
You can call us, like,
Becca and
Betty
Betty.
and Becca.
Betty and Becca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, please. Yes, we would fucking die.
We would.
This is perfect.
We would fucking die.
Guys, thank you so much. What an energizing
Oh,
highlight of the
yeah.
night. We love you.
We have
Bye,
eternally
guys.
pledged our souls to you. We love you.
Aw.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Oh my God.
Sign me up.
Wow, that
I'm
was fun.
ready to watch
I'll listen
their
to
show.
them tell any story.
They should have our show instead of us having the show, in my opinion.
I agree.
know.
Yeah.
Just take over. Just take it.
they do a way better job. Oh my God, that was great.
All right, I'm letting in Tony's iPhone, and maybe it might just be an iPhone.
That'd be so funny. It's like Mr. Towley from South Park, but it's an iPhone. Howdy, guys.
Howdy.
Hi,
Tony's iPhone. Hey, Tony's iPhone. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good.
I'm so
How are
good.
you?
Show us your dog.
You got some dogs? Oh, hi.
Nice.
Oh, baby. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
place.
he's a little brat.
Yeah, I
Both
get
of my
it.
dogs just bark and bark and bark. Stop it, please.
I use that tone with my dog too.
Please.
Like he can get like pleading, like please, can you just please?
Well, we responded to please.
Where are you calling from?
From Houston.
Ooh. Texas.
That's Beyonce land.
Yeah.
Empire State.
And Megan Thee Stallion and Lizzo. We've got good
Oh,
company.
wow.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. I love Lizzo.
Yeah. So I don't have anything spooky or any stories to tell, but I am the weirdo that made that brochure for Scared Silly.
Oh my god, we have to show that.
My
brochure.
God, we still need to post that. Okay.
Oh my God.
So Tony made
You
us,
guys-
and we'll post it today, a fantastic brochure for Scared Silly. And it's Maria and me and Melissa have been turned into clowns, and all of our course requirements are there.
I'll
and
just show it up
the
here on
schedule,
screen.
it
And
is.
Daniel, I'm gonna be honest. Us, like my clown makeup is horrifying. Like I
Tony.
look like
That was the goal.
I look, but I've never seen something so horrifying in my life than my clown makeup. in that.
Then I feel like my
It's-
job is done.
Yeah. It's Scared Silly. It is so fucking good. We'll
My
have
favorite
to,
class is haha history.
Fuck, that's good.
Oh, I was gonna say Allie does a wig class. You have Allie, the clown, doing wigs.
Clown counselor and
class on
professor of
wigs.
wacky wigs.
Yes.
And
Melissa, you do like a
basketball.
PE type thing, right?
Laugh skitball.
Do you guys remember how Melissa and Maria bought that program where they can do all the fun things to their Zoom, but they only bought a package for 2 people and they didn't buy the 3-pack. So only they can do it.
There is no 3-pack. Allie's making up a history. There is no 3-pack.
There's a pack for 2 people or there's a pack for unlimited people. And you guys went with the 2-pack instead of the unlimited pack, which would include me as well in it. Take that off, you gross nerd.
hate that face.
What
Yes, Tony. Sorry, continue.
What made you choose Melissa instead of Allie for the 2-pack?
Because Melissa was me and oh, you're not scared, silly. If you're not scared, silly, then get out.
hate this.
I hate that. I can't even look at you with
I
it.
hate it.
All right, I'll take off the hat. Jeez. It was because Melissa and I were setting up the Zoom while Allie was doing we don't even know what Allie was doing, but it was like Melissa and I were trying. It was the first time we did the live show, and Melissa and I were trying to set up the Zoom to YouTube thing. And I'm sorry, but Allie was not in the conversation.
You can have it. You can have it next time. I'll give you the login. You have
What
it
it is I'm not as good at technology as these other 2 gals are.
Well, from what I've noticed, there seems to be a pattern of Allie being severely mistreated amongst the 3 of you.
Thank you. I'm glad
wow.
it was finally brought up. I am severely mistreated.
Wow. Huh.
Thank you.
Huh.
Thank you.
Well, I guess I'll have to send you to the HR, which is just Maria in a mustache.
Which is Maria in another outfit. That's a good idea.
You want HR? I'll give you HR.
Yes, I do. No, Maria. Well, Tony, thank you so much for making that brochure, and we're gonna post it today so that everyone can see it because it is just it's
amazing.
Too much. It is so good, and we look bananas, and we should probably slip on some now that I think about it.
All right. Save it for the
Well,
class.
I'm glad that y'all
Save
liked
it for
it. It's nice meeting all of
Thank
you.
you, Tony.
Yeah, you
Thank
too.
you.
Bye, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Bye.
Bye.
My dad just sent me a text in all capitals saying, Allie, there is Indian food on the center island.
Oh my God. If that was if I was in your place, I would shut my computer and just go downstairs.
I know. I'm so excited. But it's just crazy that it's in just full. Oh, you can't see because I have the background. It's just full caps. Allie, there's Indian food on the center island. What a treat.
Hi, Dana. How's it going?
Sorry, I was trying to get my cat. He ran away.
Kitty.
What's his name?
His name is Tiggy, like the Icelandic yogurt.
Oh, amazing. You should have named him Faye.
That can be his middle name.
Yes.
Where are you calling from?
From Brooklyn, New York.
Ooh.
Hey.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
And they're coming through right now.
Do you have a scary story, a comment, suggestion, concern, want to tell Maria or Melissa that they're treating me inappropriately?
Well, I do want to say that the Trump face was super spooky.
It was bad.
It looked too real.
Well, the mouth moves, and I think that's unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm just kidding. I liked it. No. So yeah, I have a story. It's more like true crimey though.
Great.
Into it.
Sure.
We love it.
Yeah. Did you watch The Keepers on Netflix?
Melissa did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So my mom went to that school.
No way.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So she was the first graduating class of that school. Is called. It's now gone, but it was called Archbishop Keough.
Right.
And my mom was the first graduating class, and Sister Kathy, the nun that was murdered, she was my mom's English teacher, her drama teacher. My mom was in The Sound of Music, and I was her director.
Wow.
How do you solve a problem like Maria?
She played Maria. She would tell you that if she was here.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So growing up, I always knew oh yeah, there was a kind of murderous priest that worked in my mom's school, and I'm yeah, duh. Who doesn't?
Holy shit.
Yeah, duh.
No, but
then when Netflix came out with the documentary a few years ago, I like asked my mom, I was like, oh my God, are you going to watch this? And she's like, hell no, I'm not going to watch this. I lived it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to binge it alone. So, yeah, and it was just like so intense. Yeah. And then I asked her about it like later and she's like, oh yeah, I watched it 3 times in a row.
I bet. I'm sure she thinks. That's so crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And like the school where like the dumpster where like the body was found was like right around the corner from like my house growing up in Baltimore. Like nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys, if you haven't seen The Keepers, it's on Netflix and it's a really, really interesting documentary about just like this really messed up Catholic school. Basically, it was just like a bunch of crazy shit happened. You should
it just kept getting crazier and crazier, and it's really, really good.
And I think it's still like technically unsolved. So like,
right.
Yeah. So it's technically unsolved, but I feel like we all kind of know what happened.
Sure.
But, you know, yeah. Yeah. So it's like still technically unsolved. And like the 2 women who like brought this to light, they were in my aunt's class a year below my mom. And like,
wow.
Now,
did they contact your mom or your aunt like while they were doing this for anything or?
So my mom's like in the Facebook group for it, but I think she just like didn't really want to be a part of it because it like hits a little too close to home for her. But yeah, it's a crazy story and yikes. So
that's fucking
yikes is right.
So yeah, the best way to put it, I guess. But yeah, crazy story. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it. It's like very bingeable, but like maybe watch it during the day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Allie?
Allie, what's wrong?
Concerned.
No, it's just Asher. She went outside the room and then I heard a weird noise. Just give me 1 second. You guys keep going.
She's a liar. She's going to get Indian food.
She's like, I gotta go check on my dog.
Well, Dana, oh my God, that's so scary.
I'm crazy.
Dana, thank you so much for calling in.
And Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Boing, la la la.
Have a great Friday.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
All right, bye.
If Ellie comes back with a plate of curry.
You guys, look who it is.
It's Daniel.
It's Daniel, best radio voice.
Microphone.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I just have it here, so I figured I would use it. Right?
I just had it laying around.
If you got it flying.
This old thing.
Just this on a, boom stand and everything. Yeah.
How's it going, Daniel?
It's going well. How are you guys? I just wanted to take a quick moment for someone, so dear to us all who is in the hospital right now. The Discord's
I know.
Haunted Possum. Oh no, I actually was
wait, what?
Haunted.
Wait, no, I didn't see that. What happened? I thought
a skateboarding
I was making
accident.
a Trump joke.
No, I know. It does seem like that. It does seem like.
I thought you were going to do a Trump joke too, and that's why I was.
I'm better than that, you guys.
Get a little crazy with this guy.
Wait, what happened to Haunted Possum? We love Haunted Possum.
She had a skateboarding accident and is, she's on the Discord, so she's, well enough
to. Okay.
So she can type. She can still.
So let's all just, have her in our thoughts. She's a great bimbo. Yeah.
Oh, man, Haunted Possum.
She's the one who works in the morgue,
in the morgue,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need her. She's like integral.
We do.
We need someone that has that skill set.
We absolutely. She's an important part of the team. I wonder if we'll find out her Venmo maybe and we'll post it because I can imagine that maybe she has some medical bills or something like that. So
for sure.
Yeah.
But there's nothing more badass than a skateboarding accident.
That's pretty cool.
I know that
she is pretty hardcore from all.
That is pretty cool.
All we can tell. So yeah. No. So I wanted to call in. I had actually I was inspired by Sarah, who called into the last live show and had like that. She's Ella on the Discord, and she had a story about like family, like generational hauntings. And it reminded me that I interviewed my parents on like Thanksgiving in 2015, like just an audio interview, like a StoryCorps type thing. And I never really went back and listened to it, but I went back and listened to it and I like transcribed because I asked my mom, because I think when I've previously called, I've like talked about how my mom is like super Catholic and like from Guatemala, and I think those two things really like factored into her saying a lot of like fucked up spooky shit to me as a kid. Which made me the way that I am. And so I went back and looked, and she told me these two stories that I cleaned up the transcription a little bit and tried to turn into short narratives. And I think it's about 10 minutes like listening to her read it in full. So I think I can tell them pretty quickly, but they actually, I was like shocked when I was transcribing them, because at the end of it, she says some stuff that I do not remember her saying that ties into my last story about the red-haired boy in the attic. If you guys remember that. So I was like,
I remember.
I was like screaming into the Discord the other night while I was like transcribing this audio, because I was like, oh my God, I don't remember her saying this. And like, it really freaked me out. But
holy shit.
So I'll try to do it quickly.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, go for it.
But yeah, so the first thing she told me about was, and I guess I'll just try to read the cleaned up thing, because that probably makes the most sense. So I'm going to like read it from her perspective. So
go for it.
My maternal grandmother always used to say that only sinners were afraid. And I kind of think that when you're really young, that you're not committing that many sins. So you think, okay, well then I don't need to be afraid. My grandmother visited a lot. And one time she came to stay with us when we were living in an apartment near 16th and Euclid. This is in Washington, D.C., where we had a little entrance, a living room, and then sliding doors that closed off the dining room, and there was a kitchen. But since it only had one bedroom, they used to close off the dining room, and that's where my older brother and I slept when she came to town. So when she was there, she stayed in the bedroom. And I distinctly remember that my older brother and I had to share a bed that was up against the window. And I woke up, and there was this little guy with big eyes, a little hat, jagged teeth, and a little pipe who was sitting on the windowsill. I woke up, and there he was. I closed my eyes because I figured if I closed my eyes, when I opened them, he wouldn't be there. But he was still there with a grin on his face. And so, of course, my first thought was, well, I guess I must be a sinner because I'm scared to death. So this is the same Catholic guilt that I enjoy now. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And he would just sit there. He never hurt anybody or anything, but he was there. And so at this point, I asked her, you saw him more than once? And she said, yeah, more than once. And later in life in Guatemala, my grandmother would sleep in a room with my aunt, and she would complain that there was a little man or an elf that came in at night. And she'd be yelling and screaming because she thought he was trying to hurt her. And my aunt took sleeping pills, so she never heard any of it and never woke up. And nobody else ever saw her. But she says they finally got rid of this little guy because my mom's cousin heard her and got up and said, what's wrong? And she said, there's this little elf in here trying to hurt me. So the cousin ran in with a broom and said, you have to leave her alone. And he couldn't see him, but he just yelled at this entity that he couldn't see. And then she said that this elf became a more frequent visitor while my cousins had their grandmother there, and she believed in black magic and voodoo. So they thought that it was related to her being there. But my mom said she never saw him in Guatemala, only in DC, but the description of him was exactly the same.
Wow.
And then later in life, she refers to this thing as we also had the visitors in our house on Sargent Road, which is in Chilham, Maryland, which is right across the northeast boundary of DC. And that's where they moved into the suburbs, like in the 60s, maybe like early 60s. So she says this wasn't the elf. That was just, the visitors were just things that would happen. The garbage disposal would go off by itself. My Aunt Pat ran out of the kitchen once when it happened. My father would call every day during the summer when we were home by ourselves at lunchtime to check on us. So when I went to answer the phone and Pat screamed, I got off the phone to see what was wrong, and the garbage disposal was on. And I said, what are you doing with the garbage disposal? And she said, well, I didn't turn it on. So we knew that things were going on.
God.
And then she says, my father never bought us any gifts ever. He was always sending his money to Guatemala. So we didn't have toys growing up. And at Christmas, we never got toys. It's a real sob story.
Oh my God, you're like a Jehovah's Witness.
Then she mentions, it just very casually in this chain of thought, talking about how she never got presents, she says, I got that loom after I got hit by a streetcar on Columbia Road when I was 7.
What?
And this is the same loom that I had in my attic growing up. So she then goes on to say, but one year, for some reason, my father got me a little stuffed rabbit that had a zipper in the back. And inside, it had these little bunnies, and that was her Easter gift. So she put it on a little ledge on the head of her bed. And one day when she was not in her room, the rabbit jumped off and her younger brother saw it and all of his friends saw it and they screamed and ran out of the house. And then she transitions into talking about the house I grew up in, which is also in suburban Maryland. And she says, but here in our house, you know, there's noises upstairs. When you were little, we took the TV from the attic to the repair shop because it kept turning on by itself, but nothing was wrong with it. You had to actually physically unplug it to get it to stay off. And she said, I'm hard of hearing, but I would hear things and I would think that sounds like a commercial. And she used to think that I had done something to the TV to make it turn on by itself when I was like, 5 years old. And then she says, and sometimes behind my loom, I would see things. So I then asked her on the recording, like a little red-haired boy. And she said, well, I never saw the color of his hair. But stuff still happens in the house. You still hear things happen. And I was just like, like listening to this.
Oh my God.
I don't know how I would forget her saying that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I was kind of like, oh, what a fun coincidence. Like, okay.
You guys have stuff following you around.
Yeah, apparently. At least it wasn't the elf for me. That sounds a little scarier.
Serious?
Yeah, that elf with his pipe and hat.
I don't like that.
Oh my God.
What is it? We have to figure out what that is. Like, why is that like your family's
That's so weird.
baggage is just these little
creeps,
kids and little elves. Yeah, little creeps.
Did they seem evil though? Or do you think your family just thought they were evil or like had the preconceived notion they were evil?
Right. Yeah. There does seem to be a lot of baggage of like, well, if I'm afraid of it, then it must be evil and it must be here to punish me because I'm a sinner and Catholic. Like, I think there's a little bit of that. I don't know. Like, I was definitely scared of the red-haired boy, but like thinking about it now, it's like, well, maybe he was just lonely, like he never did anything to me. Like he wasn't like menacing. Yeah. He just sort of seemed to be, kind of looking,
like there.
Yeah. But he sounds
he does sound like a creep.
Definitely a pervert for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure a pervert.
Yeah. Wow. Well, please let us know what else you find as you keep going into like your ancestry of all
I know. I wish I had interviewed my grandparents, but
seriously.
If you have living grandparents, everybody, ask them about their ghosts.
Interview them, ask them about ghosts. Yeah. Anyone who's listening, if your grandparents are still alive, ask them if they've ever seen ghosts.
Because they probably have.
Now
be like, oh yeah, tons of them.
Yeah, seriously. Well, Daniel, thank you, and everyone is saying that like you're the nicest person in the world in the chat and in the Discord.
That's very kind of everyone. I'm actually an asshole, but well, at least I seem nice.
Yeah. It's all that matters.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, guys.
What if I said goodbye to him and then I saw him take off his hair and he was the red-haired boy?
Right. That would be so scary,
and
Maria.
Then he turned the camera and Daniel was just tied up in the
lifts my head up by the hair.
Yes.
Starts drinking my neck blood.
Oh my God. Yeah. Neck blood, baby. Ghost girls. All right, Daniel.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Should we cap it off so that people are thirsting to come to our next one?
Well, yeah, we've got 4 people in the waiting room. So that's
like another 40 minutes. That's like everyone is going to tell a 10-minute story, and that's like another hour.
Okay, Miss Negative Nancy. Well, let's see, because I have a feeling that Dre is going to just come in and say,
I have so much Indian food on the counter.
Dre, are you there?
Hello.
Oh, hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Can't see you,
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
First, big fan.
Thanks.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm so nervous. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
You're doing fantastic.
I'm surviving. I'm surviving.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from South Florida.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Florida, where crazy things happen, where crazy people live,
like sinkholes and stuff.
No, it's a nice place to live. I do have a scary, like a spooky story, you would call it.
Great.
Thinking back on it, it's hard to like explain because I guess I lived in a haunted house.
Oh wow.
I guess.
Which is, yeah. Well, I mean, I was never really like into like ghosts or spirits until we lived in this house. It was weird because it wasn't an old house or anything like that. It was fairly new. because construction in Florida is always ongoing. So it's always like new houses always being built, especially in South Florida. But we used to live in this house, and I think I was around 14 to like 18, 8 years of age when we lived in this house. And things would just fall like out of shelves.
Oh my God.
Just smash on the floor. We didn't know why. And other people in my family, my mother, my father, my sister, they all had different experiences. But the ones I had was like things falling on the floor, TVs turning on, like with nobody like turning them on or anything like that.
Classic ghost.
Exactly.
Classic ghost moves.
I remember one time I was on the phone back when cell phones weren't like really, available really, like house phone. And I remember talking to a friend of mine, and all of a sudden she goes, "Why are you laughing like a creep?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "That's a creepy laugh." And I go, "I don't know what you mean." And she goes, "I just heard a creepy." Yeah, she's like, "I just heard a creepy laugh." I was like, "I didn't do that."
Oh no.
And she goes, "That was weird." And I go, "I don't."
That's like the third story tonight where people have heard creepy laughs.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I mean, I'm like, maybe somebody was cross wire. I didn't know how to explain it because I didn't hear it, but she heard it. And she was like, please don't do that again. And I was like, I didn't do anything. I don't know. Like, what was weird one time is I got home late from practice. Everybody was out. Like, I think my parents went out to dinner, and I was home alone. I remember coming home, I was exhausted. My bedroom door was open. I didn't like it open because the dogs would come in and grab stuff and shoes. So I always kept it closed. And then I was like, my door's open, whatever, closed it. I wanted to go do what I needed to do, have some dinner. And then I walked by and the door was open again. I was just like, I remember closing it, but I was just like, okay, I probably didn't. I'll close it again. And I would just hear like a pop. I was like, what is that pop? So I look and my door's open again. And I'm like,
my God.
Who is like, so I grabbed the baseball bat and I'm walking around the house just like, whoever's around here, I'm just going to swing. But there was just nobody around. And then I was free. Then I was starting to like really think about, I know for sure I closed the door. I definitely know I went and closed it and now it's open again. So I was freaking out and I just waited in the living room with all the lights in the house turned on. Days go by, and the next time that I really got freaked out, it was during the hurricane where it really hit Florida bad, and we were out of power. There's no air conditioning, and if you ever visit Florida, air conditioning is a must.
Yes, it is.
A muggy night, and I was just laying in bed, and I was trying to get some sleep, and I just feel something just grab me by the chest and yank me out of bed.
What? No.
Yeah. And I remember just having no, super not cool. And I just remember something just yanking me so hard that I needed to like brace myself, and I freaked out and I ran to my parents' bedroom. I was just like, something just pulled me out of my bed, and they're like, "You're 18 years old, get a grip of yourself. Like, go
get
back
a
to
grip."
Sleep. I was just like, yeah, pretty much. Like, my parents like, "Just get out of here. What are you doing?" Like, and I was like, no, something definite. Like, I was like, whatever, just move on with your life. And then a couple of days later, I was in school doing like PE, like weightlifting, and I could just feel like a pain in my chest. Just like, I don't know. We moved out of the house shortly after, like a few months after that. Never experienced anything like that ever in my life.
Holy shit, that's crazy, man.
Dre.
That's crazy.
Dre, that was a great story. Thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, I don't know. There was other really good stories. Like,
we'll call in next month when we do it again, and
I could tell a story where I got chased by rednecks with shotguns. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, tell that next time. That's perfect.
Next time, that's going to be pretty good.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for letting me in. I appreciate it.
Of course, we appreciate you.
Thanks, Dre. All right, bye, Dre.
Have a good night.
Bye, Dre.
Stay safe.
You too.
Okay, Maria, only 4 more.
No, we've got 2 more. And see, this is what happens when Allie gets hungry. She starts not appreciating people that have been waiting a month to talk to us because
I'm just
she wants
joking.
her tiki masala.
Tikka masala is really good.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry.
Well, I think you guys are going to like who I'm letting in next because this is friend of the pod.
He's back.
Here we go.
Matt Skuda. Now, I believe Matt has been ramping up. He's been ramping up to this all week on the Discord, giving clues.
Oh my
gosh. Yes, he has.
I think the only clue I posted was a picture of the scene of the crime I'm going to talk about. I was in the area and took a picture of it this week.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, it's great to see. And Matt, remember last time you said you didn't think you were going to be able to make it this month because you said you might
Thank
have
God, a blessing from God.
Because I'm supposed to be working right now, but a certain virus shut the show down.
Oh,
so
there you go.
Well,
fuck, man. Our blessing.
Yeah. So
your curse is our blessing.
America's curse is web crawler's blessing. So Matt, what's going on? What is this story you've got to tell?
So Edmond, Oklahoma, it's where I grew up. It's where I am now. About 11 years ago, there was a murder that rocked the town. So I'm going to tell that story. It's a very low murder rate here, usually average less than 1 a year. So whenever they do happen, they become news. So there's a guy named Dwight Morgan. He was 54. He was affectionately known as Bicycle Bob around town. He was the only permanent homeless person living in Edmond, Oklahoma. Kind of everybody knew him. Everyone kind of seen him around town. They had a relationship with him in some way. He had enough money to buy a house, but he refused the help of the bank. He just preferred to be homeless as best anyone could tell and by his own account. So Sunday morning, October 18th, 2009. Sorry, I have notes for this one because I'm having some health issues. So I wanted to make sure I was saying everything correctly. They're mild. They're super mild. My tongue is really swollen.
Tell us more.
So I'm.
Who are you kissing?
Mono?
Yeah, no, I have a hereditary problem where occasionally every abrasion in my mouth becomes painful and swollen.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
And that's happening right now. So my tongue is very swollen. Sorry.
Oh, pray for Matt.
Yeah. Pray for Matt's tongue. Let's get specific.
Pray for Matt's tongue.
So Sunday morning, October 18th, 2009, a frantic Travis Monroe Jim, age 20, another homeless man, flagged down a couple near downtown Edmond, and he said there was a dead man in an alley nearby. So the couple, phoned the police. Detective Mark Oak arrived on scene and found a victim with his throat slashed, hundreds of stab wounds, blunt force trauma, and a missing finger.
Oh.
So the victim was Bicycle Bob.
Oh no.
Travis Monroe Jim, who reported the crime, had been arrested several times in the past for low-level offenses and was brought in for questioning. He said he had met Bicycle Bob months previous and described him as a real cool guy.
Okay.
The night of Dwight Morgan's murder, Travis Monroe Jim said he was drinking with friends and went to the alley where Dwight Morgan lived but didn't see him. He then went to a Walgreens about a mile away where he was arrested for public intoxication. He was released the next morning and went to see what Dwight Morgan was up to. And that's when he found the body covered in blood.
Oh my God.
He claims to have immediately went to seek out help. So Travis Monroe Jim agreed to take a polygraph, but the results were awful. He then admitted to blacking out the night before. And during an 8-hour interrogation, Travis Monroe Jim said he had passed out on Dwight Morgan's bed, and when he was shaken awake, he plunged the knife into him repeatedly out of anger.
What?
He said, "I am the one who did it." He was arrested and charged with murder. The Edmond police continued to investigate and build their case against Travis Monroe Jim, but something didn't add up. Dwight Morgan was seen alive by multiple witnesses at a time and place that would have made it impossible for Travis Monroe Jim, who had spent the night in jail, to be the murderer.
Right.
So killer was still on the loose, and their MO, specifically that of taking a finger as a souvenir, meant they would likely kill again. But 1 month later, a young man named Sean Parker, a guy in his 20s, arrived at the police station and told investigators that he couldn't allow an innocent man to go to prison for something he didn't do. He said, I know who killed Bicycle Bob.
Who was it?
He implicated Connor Mason, age 19, a friend of his wife, Heather. Sean knew Connor Mason had a thing for his wife, but he didn't know they had a relationship in high school that was still continuing.
Oh, shit.
According to Sean Parker, the Sunday morning following the murder of Dwight Morgan, Connor Mason came to his house and presented Heather with a tied-off plastic glove containing a bloody finger.
Ew.
That would later be described as a love offering.
I get it.
I figured you might.
It makes sense. That makes sense.
To Sean's surprise and disgust, his wife was excited by the macabre gift.
Yes.
Connor Mason supposedly said that he went to the sleeping Dwight Morgan and found a hammer next to him. He beat Dwight Morgan with the hammer until the hammerhead broke off, and then he took out his knife and stabbed him over and over again. Connor Mason slit his throat so he couldn't call out for help. Sean Parker relayed details to the police that were not known to the public, so they knew they were onto something here with this story. Heather Parker was brought in for questioning, but denied all and said her husband Sean was jealous and made the story up to get Connor Mason out of the picture. So the police were now thinking Sean Parker might have been the one who did it as well, or might have done it instead. When Connor Mason was interviewed, he admitted to being at the Parker's house the morning after the murder, but denied bringing a finger or anything like that. He said Sean was angry with him because of the way he looked at Heather, even though he claimed that Sean did not know that he and Sean's wife were sleeping together. Heather then moved out of Sean's house and in with Connor Mason. The police didn't know if Connor Mason had murdered Bicycle Bob or if Sean Parker had murdered Bicycle Bob with the intention of framing Connor Mason. Under pressure, Sean Parker agreed to wear a wire and speak to his wife. So on tape, Sean asked Heather if they would still be together if he had acted as excited about the finger as she had. And she responded by just saying he was just jealous because Connor did this for her. So that was basically an admission of Connor having killed Bicycle Bob.
Wow.
So Sean was innocent, trying to do the right thing.
Wow.
Sean thought Connor Mason would kill again and later said that Connor Mason and his roommates wanted to start a kill club, that Connor Mason intended to kill at least 50 people and then write a book about it.
Holy shit. You got to write that book in prison.
One of Connor Mason's roommates, Thomas Gans, a roommate, corroborated Sean Parker's story and gave additional details, such as the tip of the knife used in the murder breaking off in the skull of Dwight Morgan.
Yuck.
So another roommate, Daniel North, admitted to driving Connor Mason to the scene at the time of the murder and said that Mason wore a plastic Halloween mask. The third roommate, Nicholas Kerr, went back to the crime scene with Connor Mason to retrieve a flashlight left behind. While searching for the flashlight, Connor Mason pulled back a tarp and showed Nicholas Kerr the body. Nicholas Kerr was arrested and charged as an accessory after the fact. Heather Parker was arrested and charged with obstruction. Connor Mason was brought in for questioning again and still denied murdering Dwight Morgan. He was arrested and charged with murder. He was later questioned by another detective and admitted to buying a buck knife from Walmart. And there was security cam footage to corroborate that claim and charge.
Bad move on his part. You should have Amazon Primed it.
All right, Allie.
Yep. So all charges were dropped against Travis Monroe Jim, and he was released to family members.
Wow.
Heather said Connor Mason told her that when he cut the finger off, Dwight Morgan was still alive, and he described the experience as amazing. 2 years later, Nicholas Kerr, imprisoned now, told the authorities where the murder weapon was dumped. The knife with the missing tip was recovered from a pond. Dwight Morgan's body was exhumed and x-rayed. The metal tip was found embedded in his skull.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
And they had the tip in the skull. Connor Mason ultimately pled guilty to the murder of Bicycle Bob and admitted to doing it solely for the thrill of the kill. He was given a life sentence, but it was reduced to 40 years.
Whoa.
Wow.
Fuck, man.
Damn.
And then little fun fact, Connor Mason used to live in the subdivision I'm currently sitting in. I found out after doing.
You found out that after? That wasn't like what got you interested in it?
No, I remember this murder happening at the time, and I followed it kind of as it happened because there was a whole month there where Travis Monroe Jim was the only suspect.
Whoa.
And then it was revealed that it was basically these high school students that did it like a month later. And that turn made it even more interesting.
Holy shit, that's wild. Well, Matt, thank you. Thank you for the story. That was incredible, as usual. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye, guys.
Okay, we've got one more, and then it's Indian food forever.
Sam.
And this is Sam.
Hi.
Oh, hi, cuties.
Beautiful faces.
These happy people.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Good. How are you?
Oh, you guys are so fun.
Where are you?
We're in Toronto.
Yeah.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Where were you? We all wished we were there, let me tell you.
We might be there soon.
It's kind of bad here too, but better.
It's
much better.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing
So
tonight?
which one's Sam?
Okay, well, Sam's getting married soon, and because we have to social distance with the word, like, we have to, like, kind of do one-on-one fun stuff. So this is what we're doing.
This is our night.
Yeah.
Oh,
but we
that's
have
so fun.
So it's
Oh my God.
I think it is. Hi. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And he's
Thank
really
you.
cute, too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Well, that's
girl.
a plus.
Get it.
That's always a plus.
I think we have an okay story, so we're going to, like, throw it at you.
Yes, tell it.
Please.
Tell it.
So when I was in university, I was friends with this girl who, in retrospect, definitely had some mental health challenges, but at the time, it was hard to recognize. And I didn't hear from her for a few years, and then I get a text message from her when I'm like 21 asking if she can stay at my place. And I'm 21, so I just ignore it. And then 2 days go by, she's declared missing. Years go by, she's declared murdered. And it turns out this is a really dark one, so we're sorry we're at the end.
No, this is a great way to wrap it up.
I'm in.
Sorry. And so she's declared murdered. I like have all this guilt because like she had reached out, and
it's actually like a pretty famous case in Canada.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
The killer, who's this piece of shit named Dylan Millard, killed about 4 people in Canada, and it was all like under really disturbing circumstances. It's worth looking into. Yeah.
An incinerator at his
so he was like this rich kid that was like the heir to like an airplane fortune, and they had airplane hangars, and he had like a cattle incinerator that he sent to the Eliminator. Yeah. So he had the Eliminator, which is poor Laura.
Allie, put your legs down.
So it gets
saw your
worse.
crotch.
Oh wow!
I can see my chart. I need to move to the charger, but I didn't realize I was holding my laptop in a way that. Sorry, continue.
So this girl's aunt reaches out to everybody that she had contacted and said that she was in touch with a psychic, and the psychic wanted to know if anyone had any dreams about Laura. And of course, I'm 21. Yeah, and I had, and I shouldn't have said anything because like psychics aren't real and stuff. But I told this woman, that the aunt of this dead girl, my dream where Laura was in my bathtub covered in seaweed and like The Shining, like reaching out to me, and I had to explain this to her aunt at like 11:30 at night one night, and I really regret it now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But she was covered in seaweed, meaning like she was at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. So that was my scary dream. Yeah, it was just a dream. It was just a dream.
Has she been found?
Yes. So they never found her body, but he was charged with her murder, which means they like found reasonable evidence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was convicted of her murder. He also killed his own father. He shot his own father in the eye, and he killed a young father that got a lot of press. I forget his name.
Yeah, wasn't it like a Craigslist car thing?
Yeah, it was like he stole someone's truck off of Craigslist and then shot him in the head. It was
my
crazy.
God.
Holy shit, the sociopath. What was the name? Dylan Millard?
Dylan Millard.
Yeah. I think I think all the trials are just wrapping up or have. Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah.
We're going to have to do an episode on this because this is crazy.
Crazy.
Will you email us so that we can contact you if we want? So you can, if you want, we'll be like a guest we can interview.
Okay, so obviously, yes. Please do that. But if you don't do it,
holy shit, that is insane.
Yeah. So poor Laura and Dylan's horrible. But in good news, Sam is still getting married, and it's really good.
And there we are, and there it is.
And she got me into the show.
Yeah,
so
it's true. It's
full
true.
circle or something.
Wow.
And I also have a very brief episode idea, which is
what is it?
Please.
I'm from London, Ontario, which is about 2 hours southwest of Toronto. And from 1959 to 1984, it was the serial killer capital of the world.
No way.
I've never heard of any of the serial killers that were supposedly active, but I think there were like 6 that were active throughout those years.
It's too many.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Not
6 too many.
the lore of the city at all, but apparently it happened, and I think it's connected to like lead in the water. Like it was the same time when there was like lead in the Pacific Northwest. So I've heard that it's like it might be a similar thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
That makes sense.
In the 40s and 50s, and then like percolating later. So
oh wow.
There might be stuff to explore there.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
100%.
That's crazy. Holy shit. Well, you guys are fantastic. And I forgot about my Indian food for like a whole 5 minutes. No joke.
Sushi.
Yeah, we have sushi inside. So like,
well, that actually sounds even better. Oh, now I want sushi. Fuck.
Oh
now
my
I'm
God.
pissed. Congratulations on your wedding, and we will be in touch soon because we definitely want to do an episode on Dylan. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, bye guys.
Bye,
Thank you so much. We have the best listeners.
We honestly really do. They're so fun and they're so
awesome.
cute.
Well, guys, another live show in the books.
Yeah,
we did it.
Sorry, I flashed my hoot nanny. I didn't mean to.
No, and now you're sitting like a frog.
Yeah.
You're sitting like a leapfrog.
Because I have to pee and I'm hungry, and now I'm on the floor with my laptop plugged in, and like life is turning against me now.
Oh my God. This is
Okay, well, I guess we should go.
Yeah, you guys, thank you all
Yeah, thank
for
you.
being part
Thank
of
you
this.
so much. We
Remember,
really appreciate it.
tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies,
Yes.
and tell your local priest.
And tell your next door
or
neighbor.
rabbi
Yeah.
that Web Crawlers is where it's at.
Yes, thank you so much. I
Oh,
am.
and please rate and review. Oh, sorry. Just everyone,
Yes.
if you haven't rated and reviewed on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review. It's so
It's
important.
very
We would really
important.
appreciate it.
Halfway through, my light fell off my laptop in case you noticed. Anyways,
just falling apart over there.
anyways, I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And I'm Maria Blasucci.
Ooh.
That was pretty cool, huh?
That was good.
Welcome to October spooky season. Bye.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.